opinion this thing going on. I just figured this would have been a decent conversation because we do have two people on here who like the game, so like their views might be, and their opinion on it and on the series in general might be different. It might be different, and it might be biased on, like, you could say that, but like there was an unpopular opinion which it should be popping up on the screen right now, but like, it's unpopular opinion, and it reads: God of War series is overrated. And I figured this would have been a great talking point for us for the thing. And I think they mean, I don't know if they mean the series as a whole, because I feel like those first 5 or 6 games are its own entity, and the new PlayStation 4 one, the God of War, is more of like a light reboot, almost a damn near almost a reboot, and it's like a totally different beast in general. That's how I feel like, and I'm thinking they're talking about that, not the old God of War because, like, in my opinion, I think old God of War is more niche than anything. It's like a cult classic, if anything, because the old God of War is more like a beat 'em up
hack and slash type game.
Hack and slash type game.
Yeah.
This new one is more like an action, borderline RPG type thing. So how do we feel about this? Do you agree with this unpopular opinion? And also say in the comments down below if you do. But do y'all agree with this unpopular opinion, or is this person just talking out their ass, or are they wrong? Because, like, I threw this in our chat, in our Discord chat, but and Isaac was saying that it was unpopular, like they were wrong and everything. And I asked why, and I genuinely want to hear the discussion about it, because I know we talked about a little bit of this yesterday, and Isaac even said he had some points. He had written down some points and everything about it. He was prepared.
I do. There's somewhere. I remember what they are.
How do we feel about this, Isaac? You start us out, because I know you like the game and you're pretty hyped for Ragnarok.
I am, yeah. I think, well, like I was saying yesterday, we don't know the context of how this person made this picture. Like, you don't know if they're saying it because they genuinely believe it, or they're saying it because they're mad it's popular, or they're saying it just because it is popular. It could be a person who, like, loved the old games and didn't like to jump over to, like, how the gameplay is now. There's so many different factors that could go into it. And the thing is, like, with God of War in general, like, the thing might just be talking about the new game. But I was thinking in general, I don't know if the God of War is overrated at all. I wouldn't say it's underrated. I think how Walt said it, like, at least the original games are niche. The new one had it was a strange thing, because I think the people who may have not played the original games and saw the new one, and, you know, maybe saw, like, gameplay or saw, like, cutscenes, watched the movie of the original games, they take it at face value and they don't decide to play it any further because they just think it's kind of one note. But, like, you can tell, for those who have stuck with the franchise completely, the drastic difference between God of War 3 and, I guess, God of War Ascension at the same time, up to the new God of War, is completely different. Because I was thinking about it the other day. Kratos is a completely different character. He's in a new land. There's a new pantheon of gods and everything. And I remember when the new game came out, I was still in the headset, or the mindset of, you know, we had just come off of God of War 3, where he killed every single Greek god. Spoilers, but spoilers for a how old game. He killed every Greek god And I went into the Norse thing being like, oh man, I can't wait to watch Thor. I can't wait to watch Kratos beat Thor's head in with his own hammer. Kill all the other gods. And then you play it, and you're like, oh, I don't think I want that at all. I just want him to be happy with his son. Like, I don't want him to have to do anything like that anymore. And it's like throughout the game, I felt bad for feeling like I wanted him to kill everybody, because you genuinely see him and he's just like, I don't want to do any of that. And then when people start messing with him, he has to end up doing those things. And it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like watching the Joker movie, where I was like, oh man, I can't wait to see him turn into Joker. And then I watched and I was like, I don't want to see him turn into Joker at all. And then by the time he does, it hurts. So I feel like I'm rambling. Well, I think you get the point.
That's kind of a good thing, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't say God of War is overrated. It's not going to be for everyone, but I don't know. I feel like the vast majority of people who played it and did like lock into the gameplay, I think it turned out that God of War was an insanely good reboot of a series that looked like it had lost all its steam. Like, it had a good finish to it, and we didn't expect anything else to happen. And then when it did happen, it was met with some criticism, and everybody was like, why does there need to be another game? Why does it look so differently? And then we started playing it, and it was, I think it was magical. The first time you throw the axe and it comes back is one of the most intoxicating moments in video games to me. So I don't know. That's my stance, but it's obviously biased considering I love the game. So
all right, let me get with Noah. How do you feel about this? Do you think they're right? Do you think their unpopular opinion were the God of War series? Which, let's just say this on the just God of War, the PlayStation 4 remake version, or the reboot version of God of War. Like, let's leave the old games out of it, because I don't think they're talking about that. But how do you feel about it, Noah? Do you think it's overrated? Did you play the first one?
I haven't played the first one. Okay. I'm going to say, since you just said don't add the old ones in, but I'm going to say,
I mean, you can't.
It's not overrated. It's not underrated. I think God of War is properly rated. Okay, I think we need to start using that word, because there's been God of War is not a niche game. God of War is one of like a big game in the old days for the PlayStation 2. God of War 1, 2, 3. Those were hits. Those games made Sony money. Like, I don't know why y'all using this word niche. Like, God of War is like a haymaker.
I think it's niche. I mean, like, because there's a lot of games that are greatest hits and everything like that, but it's not that.
God of War made that money.
It's not. Yeah, sure, it makes the money and everything like that, but it doesn't. It's not highly regarded like how this remake is. The remake it's like on the pedestal of like Last of Us or something like that. That's how the remake is. Or even how Final Fantasy 7, it's on that type of pedestal. I'm not saying like the old series in general is like niche, but like it is for the type of game it is, for the gameplay, and versus the new gameplay. The new game is different. It's like starkly different.
I get that. You can't call God of War niche. You know what you can call niche? Bayonetta is a niche title. That shit is awful, but I think it's properly rated. I did watch some gameplay. The gameplay does look good. People just hate seeing like people get hyped up for some stuff. This is a person that played God of War, and they was like, I don't see what the hype is. So this is a bad game. Just like this is an average game.
Yeah.
I think it's properly rated. The old games were good. The new reboot, they did a great job. They did a proper reboot. They changed they changed Kratos, they changed the gameplay. They did a great job. It's properly rated game. It deserves to have this much in anticipation as it does.
JR. How you?
Yo.
You agree with?
I agree with Noah. Yeah, I agree with Noah that I agree with both of them. But I also like mostly agree with Noah of how like it's properly rated. Like for a game to be overrated, it would have to be obnoxiously popular. That's what I would say for something to be overrated. For something to be like vastly overrated, they would have to be obnoxiously popular to the point where, yeah, people who hasn't played it would see, oh, they're so popular, but they're like forcing down my throat of how like of their opinion of how great of a game this is, and now I just feel like it might be a bad game because like that's my mentality. It's too popular for me to get into. And it's true for a bunch of other things. So, but for God of War, it was good for who it was intended for. Like the old games where they were properly rated, I would say, and it got popular enough to span its own like series, its own franchise. It told like its own story, and when that story was completed, they would be like, maybe we should bring Kratos back and put him somewhere else. And now we got this new God of War, and they changed it to a degree that would make it look promising, or it would make old fans hesitant, but when they started playing it, they might, they might change their minds. They get into it. It's for old fans and new fans alike. So, and when that game came out, I remember like seeing everywhere. I remember it was like a couple of months before I ever played the game, and I was like, wow. It must really be that good then, for people to say like, yeah, it's really great, but they weren't very obnoxious about it. So I wouldn't say it was overrated. It was properly rated, and when I played it for the first time, I was like, I see why everybody loves it, and that's all I have to say about that.
So for those who are curious, the Metacritic scores for the original God of War 2005 is
shit came out in 2005. Holy
2005.
Jeez.
It is a.
I was 10 years old.
94.
Wasn't even allowed to play that.
It's 94.
94. It's got 94. God of War 2 has a 93. God of War Betrayal.
The hell is that?
That was the mobile game.
It's a mobile game. Yeah.
Okay. Never heard of
Okay.
It doesn't have a rating, but
nobody cares about mobile games.
The God of War collection that you get all 5 games, Ghost of Sparta and Sagas and Ascension. That on the PlayStation 3 it got a 91, and on Vita it got a 73. God of War 3 has a 92. God of War Ghost of Sparta has an 86. God of War Origins Collection, which would be Ghost of Sparta, Saga, and Ascension. That has an 84. God of War Saga doesn't have anything yet. Ascension has an 80, and then God of War 3 Remastered has an 81. And then God of War the 2018 on PC, it has a 93. On PS4, it has a 94.
That makes sense.
The great games across the board, man. They ain't got a bad game. Congratulations, God of War.
Well, down below, like I said.
Wait, real quick. Since we're talking about this, what is a game you guys think is overrated? Like it's super
overrated.
Yeah,
people love it.
I know
it's overrated.
That's where I was about to say I was about to go.
I thought it should be the same topic, dog.
Yeah.
Same shit.
Yeah, it's still the same topic because I was gonna say down below in the comments, what is a game that you feel like is overrated? And then I was gonna kick that.
It, dog.
No, I wasn't. But it's good. Jr. Isaac.
He's upset.
Jr. What is a game?
I could already think of one.
Give me but what is a game series? Do you feel like is overrated?
Okay. Y'all know this is unbiased because I actually love this game, but I know that it's overrated. Undertale.
Okay.
Why do you?
Yeah.
All right, hold that. We're gonna let that stew for a second. Let's get the games out the way. Isaac, what is a game series that you think, or even game you think is overrated? Like it's praised to high heaven, but you just like, man, this is overrated. It's mid as fuck.
Well, it's kind of the same situation as JR because I enjoyed both of these games, but I think the series is extremely overrated, and our channel is going to get taken down after I say this, but The Last of Us.
That's my answer, man. That's bullshit. You took my answer right out of my mouth.
All right, let that stew for the Isaac. Noah?
My answer was going to be The Last of Us.
Man, that sucks for you, man.
Let me think. Another game that's overrated, but people love that shit. I guess I'll go with Horizon, the whole fucking series.
Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yeah.
Why you say that?
Have you played it?
No.
I don't even think it was overrated. Hold on.
Nah, that shit's overrated.
I think
it's overrated. No, those games, I don't know if it's overrated, if people love that shit. The games are
it's just that it doesn't have like a proper, I feel like it doesn't have like a proper amount of attention for it to be classified as overrated.
It's getting its own
show. Sad to me.
People love that shit.
Wait, it's getting its own show. Shit,
yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh.
Yeah,
I think you just made his day.
It is getting a show.
Yeah, it's good. People love that.
Oh wow!
Shit. The people that game. This is the most. First of all,
I mean, it was nominated for a bunch of rewards and stuff, and
I don't give a shit. That shit sucks.
Like right now on Metacritic, the original game on Metacritic has a 98 on PlayStation.
98.
Not at 98, 89. Excuse me.
Oh, jeez.
89, and the PC version has an 84.
I was gonna say, damn.
98.
The PC version has 84.
I just almost had a stroke when I said 98.
GameSpot gave it a 9 out of 10.
They're idiots.
And IGN gave it a 9.3 out of 10.
Because they're idiots too.
And Polygon even gave it a 9.5 out of 10.
Game is overrated as fuck.
Alright.
I feel like it's properly rated.
Absolutely not.
But it's just this is just my unbiased. This is my unbiased opinion.
Main characters in video game history, but people don't want to talk about that shit. The people don't want to talk about how that Horizon probably had the worst open world ever in any video game. Maybe it's up there in the top 5. Okay, that game got that boring that fast. It was the same shit over and over again. I beat the first one. The last boss is a fucking robot you fight 2 times already in the fucking game. The story is not interesting because Aloy reacts the same way to every fucking thing. If Aloy gets married, she's cool about it. If her mom dies, she's cool about it. Nothing gets her excited. Nothing gets her sad. Okay, she's an awful.
I mean, your father figure got her sad, and she wanted revenge.
See, it got that shit sucks. Okay, there's nothing good about Horizon fucking Zero Dawn. Okay, there's the most dead open world with their fucking useless ass side quests and the fucking weak ass story that people swear is strong, but what the fuck ever.
I mean, I ain't seen that movie, so like I don't know. I can't tell you if it's strong.
Horizon was awful.
Isaac, and I know Noah can go in about this. Why Last of Us overrated for you?
So my thing about The Last of Us is I enjoyed the first game. I kind of sort of enjoyed the second game. But The Last of Us has fans like I can only equate it to the Goku fanboys and Dragon Ball fandom, and Walt, you know exactly what I mean. These,
unfortunately,
it just the way some people talk about these games is mind blowing. Because I mean, you know, everybody plays a game differently. I understand, but again, it's just like people talking about it like it's, you know, Martin Scorsese's best film or something. Like it's a story you've seen done before. It's like a whole video game that's made into an escort mission, and it's like, yes, it's a simple story, and the things that happen along the way are, the parts that make the story kind of move along and that are good, and it's the characters and all that kind of stuff. But even then, it's good enough to make me think about it for maybe, a week or so. But these people are talking about it like it's the best game of all time, where I think for a game to be called the best game of all time, it can't just have a really good story, because The Last of Us gameplay is so fucking basic. It's ridiculous.
Talk your shit, Isaac.
It's like, it's just incredibly violent Uncharted. There's nothing else to it.
Basically, yeah.
It's just,
I agree, Isaac. Talk your shit.
I don't understand it sometimes. I mean, like, again, I enjoyed the first two games, and I was invested in the story and everything like that. But it's one of those games where I feel like I could have just watched the cutscenes and felt the same about it. I wouldn't have been excited to play it, because that was like the main thing about the second game. I wanted to see what happened, and it wasn't a thing where I was like, oh man, I can't wait to jump in and shoot clickers 5 times in the head before the head finally explodes. Although the Rat King boss fight is still fun. I'll stand on that hill, until the day is over. But I think
it's so cancerous. I remember watching Noah play that. That's the hospital thing, Noah.
Okay, he lost like
that
Rat
was
King.
Cancer. Oh god.
I was like, the best.
I did. I remember when we were playing through that and the first time, and nobody ever mentions what this thing was called, but we see like through like the gallery or whatever that it was called the Rat King, and I was like, what the fuck makes it the Rat King? Like, I don't understand the name.
Oh, did I tell you what the name means?
I think you did, but I just didn't care.
It's disgusting, but like, it just, I don't know. It's one of those things where I'll never understand why it gets the level of hype that it does. For me, it's just, it's another zombie apocalypse game, except with some new twists. Like,
they're zombies, but they're not zombies. Come on, man.
Yeah, there's zombies, but they're not zombies.
I'm pretty sure there's some story elements that you've seen in The Walking Dead before. Like,
yeah.
Listen, the first Last of Us story was okay to me. I think it would have been great if the DLC was in the whole story, in the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
They would have pushed it over the edge for me. As a game, as a whole, it would have pushed the game higher for me. But they like what Isaac said, the simple gameplay, and people think this story is just a cat's meow. I was like, this shit ain't nothing special. The nigga lost his daughter, he found another one. With the fucking dude. Whatever, man. Listen, I think The Last of Us is a.
But she was the chosen one. She's immune.
And she didn't even follow through with that.
Who gives a shit? Anakin was the chosen one. Something happened to him. Shit.
Oh, jeez.
All right, man.
Well.
The Last of Us was a good game. Okay, it had a good. The gameplay was solid. You know, it wasn't no buggy game when it came out. It was a solid game. But when the second one came out, my biggest thing about the second one is that it wasn't even the story. It was the lack of. They didn't add nothing to the gameplay. They was like, yo, we're just going to bring out Last of Us 2 and it's going to sell, which it did. But all they did to the gameplay was what? Add the tall grass? Was that
Tall
it?
grass, yeah. Some smoother stuff.
Also, they gave the NPCs more personality, so that when you kill somebody, all the other ones would be like, Jeff, no! He had a family!
Yeah. They gave them
What am I going to tell his children?
I know why it was so highly rated. I remember now. It's because you get to play a guitar in the game, and that's revolutionary. Like, Guitar Hero didn't have its own franchise a long time ago. But, you know, that's fine.
Oh, man, I do what I think, man. I thought they should... Last of Us Part 2 it will always forever be a 5 for me. Strong 5, you know.
I think she's like the next Santana. What the fuck?
Nah, I'm good on The Last of Us. I just took my answer. Bastard.
Sorry.
Bastard took my answer.
Alright, JR. What was the game you had said?
Undertale.
Undertale.
And
Alright, so the views of Animus Prime JR do not account for the views of the N.W.A.
I know, right?
yeah, because those Undertale fans, they be crazy sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Undertale fans.
That's it's mostly because of the fans that Undertale has become kind of not as great for me as it once was.
So no. Hold on. Undertale has come. Listen.
That's my whole.
I know exactly what they are.
Yeah, that's my whole emotion. That's my whole emotion about that whole thing. I used to love it. I used to.
So the fandom is what made.
The fandom is what set me. Yeah. It's like that for a lot of things because
I understand that.
I haven't played it in. Yeah. And this is like months after playing it originally. And I remember when I first played it, it already came out like months afterwards, and I'm like, damn, they really singing this game's praises, even though it looks simple. And going into it, it is kind of simple, and they do change it up by having you not kill everybody, giving you that option, and they have like this good story that has a lot of twists and turns, has some very quirky NPCs that I enjoyed. Yeah. And it's gotten to the point where like over a year afterwards, people are still singing this game's praises, like 5 years late, and like I don't know. When did this game come out? Jeez.
What was
it had to be like
2015.
2015. Oh, jeez. So I remember.
The score for Metacritic for Undertales is the PC has a 92 out of 100. The PlayStation 4 has a 92, and the
That's okay. That's my other thing. That
Switch has a 93.
Yeah, and that's my other thing that kind of bothers me about this game, that there's so many ports of this And this is like years after it came out on PC, and they didn't add anything new to those. Like they claimed that they like add some new stuff to the ports, and just one or two new boss fights, and that's it. They weren't even anything special. Even for like the Switch port, they added like a new monster that looks similar to like the Switch controls, like the neon red and blue. And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, from what I heard, the dude who made it, Fox, he was like,
Toby Fox.
He commented on it. He was like, he was really super surprised at how popular the game became and how appreciative the audience is. And he said he found it stressful. He was like, I quote, it wouldn't
leave the poor guy alone.
Yeah. He was like, it wouldn't surprise me if I never make a game as successful as this. That's fine with me though. And then he goes on to talk about Sands and everything like that.
I don't think you guys understand how like big Undertale has gotten. If you type in YouTube, there's like actual animations, like full blown animated stuff. Undertale. Like,
and I'm not gonna lie, some of those are good.
Good. They had a budget for this stuff. Like I was like, dang, this stuff is amazing. Actually, and I only know this because I have an 11-year-old son that would die. Undertale is the greatest game ever fucking created.
And the gameplay's not even that much to brag about either.
Know what makes Undertale so great?
Have you played it though?
No, he turned me off of it. I never want to play that game.
Isaac, have you played it?
I have not. I've watched people play it.
Is the fandom
okay?
JR and does it turn you off?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure I'm the reason why I turned Isaac off from this game because
it's not your fault.
Okay, because I remember playing it in front of him a few times, and I'm like, this game is great, right? And I was one of those fans for a while, singing this game's praises, and then I mellowed out. Thank God.
Because it's one of those things where, like, I think we all have friends who go through this when they really get into something and they just like they get really fixated on it, and there's some people who like when they get excited about something, it's kind of like a turn off, and you're like, bro, please just shut up. But me and JR have like this friendship where like when he gets excited about something, I enjoy watching him get excited about something. And Undertale was one of those moments where like he was really excited about it, and then he was playing it for me, and I was watching, and in my head I'm like, I don't see what the hype is for this game. It's making him happy, but I don't see the hype for it. But he's happy, so like I'll keep watching, and I watched him beat the entire game. And by the end, I was like, yeah, it's it's a game. Like I don't think it's a paragon of gaming like a lot of people do. But it's just
Undertale's is a movement.
Jeez, man.
See, Undertale has Undertale has the same kind of fandom, and again, this is completely different. This is completely for like other people and not for those that I know. It has the same effect on me. Their fandom has the same effect on me that Steven Universe does. Because like I don't get Steven Universe. I really don't. I'm happy for the people that do. I don't get it myself. And I wish I could just leave it like that. But God, some of those fans are just like,
are you saying Steven Universe is overrated? Is that what you're saying? You flirt with that line?
Hey, I'm a fan of Steven Universe.
Let me write it down. Let me write it down before I say it. That way it doesn't actually come out of my mouth.
Look, I'm a fan of Steven Universe, and even I'm saying Yeah, it's gotten overrated right now. People need to chill.
And I'll write it real small. That way nobody can actually read it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I would feel like Undertale and Steven Universe are like the same category of overrated. Like they have a fan base that would
just because
like ride or die with it. I can't even read the overrated.
Exactly.
What were you gonna say, Noah? What were you finna say, Noah?
I was gonna say, it started just because something may have a toxic fan base. Some stuff can't be properly rated with suck ass fans. Right?
Yeah,
That's true.
I love One
it's
Piece,
true,
but some
yeah.
One Piece fans can be absolutely fucking. I absolutely hate One Piece people. One Piece is my favorite anime, but I do not like the people. They can die.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Okay, okay.
All right. Anybody else?
And I do agree, I love Steven Universe, but those fans are awful too. All right, they act like that show was perfect.
Exactly.
And I don't think the show's perfect, but that show was good. But it's nowhere near.
All right. Well, down below in the comments, you tell us what you feel. We're running out of time, so we can't get into some of the things. The last thing I want to talk about, but like, we'll probably do that as another video. These Japanese people over there in Japan and their ranking lists and shit.
Oh god.
But like, down below, you tell us.
I really wanted
how
to
you
go
feel
through it with
about
you
it.
guys.
If you agree with us on these picks, is Last of Us really overrated? Is God of War overrated? Is the Undertale underrated? Hell, is Steven Universe underrated? You down below?
Oh lord.
We would love.
Let's start a whole fan war, man. Let's start a whole war.
I just want to say that was JR and Isaac that said that stuff about you guys' beloved games. Okay, I don't want no beef with the Undertale or Steven Universe community.
Wow.
Okay, because you guys
I don't want no
weak.
beef either. I'm just saying how it is.
As we always say, show your attitude. You wonderful, beautiful. Deuces.